Acts chapter 2, we're we're looking at the the practices, the basic life of the very first church after the day of Pentecost in Jerusalem. Okay, and we talked about their beginning in verse 42, how the four things that they acted on as because they felt they were the most. This is my impression. They felt these were the primary principal things: the apostles' doctrine or teaching, fellowship, the breaking of bread, and prayer. And then that led into a sense of what I call outrageous generosity, where people who had property and possessions sold some of them in order to provide for the needs of people in this family who couldn't provide for themselves. Okay. Now, in verse 46, every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts. That's kind of a cool picture. Every day, why, we couldn't, telling you, the best I can do is I'll show up for church on Sunday, but Sunday night, come on. Wednesday, oh, jeepers. A small group? Come on, I got a life. Culture is way, 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 way different between then and now. And so let's think about this. When did the day begin in century 1 in Jerusalem? Well, the day began when the sun came up. And when did work end? When the sun went down. Did they have like 8 to 5, 9 to 5 jobs? Well, not really. I mean, and one of the reasons they didn't is because that's not how they counted time. They counted time not by minutes and almost not by hours, but by sections of the day, by what is often referred to as watches of the day. Well, there's a whole bunch that goes into it, but the bottom line is they were rarely in the kind of hurry that we are always in. And part of the advantage of that is they could break off and meet together in the temple courts every day. Does it mean all 3,000 plus met in the temple courts every day? Well, it could, but my sense is maybe everybody couldn't, but the group did. I mean, it was representative of the entire congregation, this whole group, this whole family. They got together every day in the temple courts. And okay, it's safe to guess that they might have devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, to fellowship, to koinonia, to sharing life, the breaking of bread. It's really entirely possible that they shared communion every day in the temple courts, and to prayer. No doubt they prayed. Well, what about the song service? Well, we don't know. I mean, it was a Hebrew tradition to sing certain songs at certain times of the year. So it's not beyond me believing that maybe there was singing I don't know. But my guess is there was praising in the times that they were together. But every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. This gives us a little bit of insight into how 3,000 people could be baptized on the day of Pentecost. Is it not possible that they were there in that temple court when the church began? And they came back to the temple court every day for their meeting. Yeah. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts. That's a piece. There are some people who have the gift of hospitality. My youngest daughter has the gift, and her husband Garrett have the gift of hospitality. They love having people in their home. It's like Jenny, we talk every Friday on the phone, and she talks about how, her work week is long, and long days, and intense. And but she's talking about it. But then I'll come home and make dinner, and we'll have somebody's going to be at the table with them, and she loves it. It refreshes her. Me, when I'm done, I'm going to be done. I don't have the gift of hospitality. I enjoy it when friends come over. I enjoy it when friends come and stay a couple of days. But I can't say I have the gift of hospitality. Well, I don't know that all these people had the gift of hospitality, but one of the things they had was enthusiasm for the relationships that they were building with others in the family of God. They broke bread in their homes, and that is not necessarily the breaking of bread, as I interpret in verse 42, the breaking of bread as the Lord's Supper, communion. This is much more reasonably, they ate together. Well, it says that. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts. Now, there is this possibility. Is it not possible that when they all got together, friends, family members got together at the table, I suppose they could have shared communion together? Maybe. But they ate together with glad and sincere hearts. Wow, what a great word picture. Together, eating together. I'm not a foodie, but there are certain foods that I just love to eat, and I'm learning how to eat to live instead of living to eat. But I love good food with good friends. Some of the most wonderful times, friendship times that I've experienced were over a meal. Talked about this before, but Jesus had some very significant conversations and encounters over meals. Not every one, but several. And apparently the life of this first church included eating together. I remember growing up, there were not very many Sundays that we didn't have somebody at our table with us for dinner, or we weren't at somebody's house for dinner, or we weren't sitting at the tables in the fellowship hall for a covered dish dinner. It wasn't. I just have very few memories of us going out to eat after church on Sunday. I have many memories of us going home and collecting the food that Mom had made and going over to somebody's house and sharing the meal there, or them coming to our place and having lunch, which was dinner for us on Sunday. It seems like we were maybe less distracted. I'm pretty sure we were in less of a hurry generally. And Sundays, they were devoted to attending Sunday school and church and being with friends and family. This still happens, but not generally as it happened when I was younger. Maybe you have that same experience. When I said younger, that's really not true. It's when I was young. Could it be that one of the practices of the early primitive church, the first church, that we ought to get a hold of is this idea that we broke bread in our homes and we eat together? Could be. It's not a command, but it is at least a strong implication out of this description of daily life for this first church. They broke bread in their homes. Now, let's think about this. I know when we're going to have company over, my wife Debbie, she's an immaculate housekeeper, but she tidies up extra. Me, can they get through the door and is there nothing too embarrassing out on the floor? I'm good with that. Sometimes our excuse for not having people over is, well, we just can't. We don't have the whatever. I get that, but maybe we need to get past that. Okay, they broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts. This was not a duty they had to do. We got to have these people in our home. I mean, the apostles and all the rest of the church. Glad hearts. There's an aspect of our faith that involves gladness. And a part of it is, the biggest part surely is our confidence that God has said yes to us and we have said yes to Him. But another piece of it should be the relationships that we have with others in this family, our common experience, and then sincere hearts. That's a significant two words. It has to do with motive. They didn't invite one another over into their homes to impress each other. They had this sincerity that said, it's us. What you see is what you get. Come, let's connect. Let's eat. Let's enjoy. Pretty amazing way to live. Maybe you and I could take a cue from that and figure out what we might do to be a little more like that in our daily life. See you next time on Soul Care with Stevie Boy.